All right, so the bullshit continues, but there's some good news. Um, I want to start with the good news actually first. And this is the good news. I'm seeing a lot of canceled tournaments. A lot. Um, oh man, some of them just sort of disappeared, but there was a few more. There's about four canceled tournaments. Let me just go back up and see if they're there. Well, there was about four different within the last less than a minute ago. There was four canceled tournaments. I logged on last night and I seen about seven or eight canceled tournaments. And that's the great news because people are starting to realize these sites are full of bullshit. And the canceled tournaments was actually sort of it was night. It was night. It was around, I would say, between. I logged on twice just to look. The reason logged on to look to see if I had a welcome back bonus, and I did. I had, like I said, when in the beginning of playing on this site, when I was actually loading money years and years and years ago, playing big tournaments and bigger cash games, they wouldn't give me anything. Nothing. I would email them, they wouldn't give me nothing. Nothing. And all of a sudden, years later, I don't load money. I play free rolls. I win. I cash out. I win some of the money. Then I go play another tournament. I do good. And then I cash out without loading anything. And all of a sudden, they're just giving me stuff. It just doesn't make sense. But whatever. I got I didn't play it yet. But I got a welcome back bonus. I think it was like $2.20. The highest one that was like $5 and something. But so I'll play it. But I got it, and when I was looking through the tournaments, because I was thinking about using it last night and playing, I seen it was either eight or seven canceled tournaments, and it's a Friday night, eight or seven canceled tournaments, and I was so happy because again, that's just pointing out that people are starting to catch on and realize that these sites are full of bullshit. And today when I logged on to do the free roll, I seen about four or five. But when it but the tournament didn't start. So I logged back out. But then when I logged back in, there was about four canceled tournaments. And I just showed you two, so I guess they fade away after a while. Yeah. They sort of fade and move. But that's the great news because people are just starting to catch on, even in some of my comments and even some other videos and through social media. You see people talking about it, and I've been talking about it for months. That these tournaments are they're not making money because people again starting to catch on, and now at this point it's just so many bots and so many in house that no matter what they're just not, they can't make these guarantees. Even some of the small tournaments, they can't make the guarantees, they can't make the numbers. And I guess the bad news is I logged on and did the free roll, but again, I'm doing good. It's just the same pattern. I'm doing good. There's about three of us playing. It's a 9 ring, but about three of us playing. One player decides to sit out, and it goes heads up between me and another player. I'm blinding out these other players, and I'm beating out the player that's actually playing. All of a sudden, one of the players wake up and start winning every single hand. It's a weird name that doesn't make sense. I know not all names make sense, but it's just a whole bunch of letters put together. Just whatever. So after you've been playing online for so long, and you see things. It's just certain things just doesn't add up. You see things, you experience things. So whatever. So I decided to leave a note. But about time I got ended off the tournament, I definitely knew for sure it had to be a in-house, and not a bot or anything else. But I guess I'll just share with the last two hands. The last two hands, or last three hands. I wasn't involved in this hand, but basically, another player was playing a hand almost perfect, and all this person had was I think a pair, a small pair. I can't remember, but all they had was a small pair. But the person is they raise, they're playing. There's high cards. There's a few mid cards on the board and one little small card or pair which they had. Now we're not on the final table. We're nowhere near it. But this player called all the way down, even to a big bet, a bigger bet on the river, even a big bet on the turn to win. Like it just did not add up. Now I know a lot of people's poker IQ isn't the same. Mine isn't the greatest, but I would say mine is above average. A long time ago, many years ago, I took a my IQ test online, a poker IQ test. I don't even think the site is still around. I know maybe like 4 years ago, I tried to go back on, but I couldn't find the site. I don't know if it moved or whatever, but I was a little bit above average. Um, and I know if poker has changed, so I'm probably about the same, if not a little bit lower, because again, poker change, strategies change, hands change, things change. Certain things remain the same, but a few things change. But whatever. So I know people's IQ isn't the same, so you're gonna have these people calling dumb stuff or just calling along. But this player was calling like they just knew they were gonna win. Um, and they won. So next hand comes around. Uh, Again, they have a small pair, but this time they hit a set. To hit a set of threes. But the board, I'm betting. Now, about time we hit the turn, it's completely a one liner to a straight. I'm betting as if I have the straight. On the river, I'm betting as if I have the straight. At this point, there's no full house. They still just have a set of threes. I'm betting as if I have the straight. If I have everything, I'm good. Nope. They call with ease, like they just knew they were gonna win, and they won. Next hand. I at this point I have like 3,000 chips, so I was like, okay, whatever. So I have Queen Jack. I decided to jam, and they call with ease. They have pocket tens. Now, their call was technically not a bad call because they are a leading stack. They do have pocket tens. So it's a lot that goes on. I'm just not gonna go all in detail, but it was a good call. I'm not gonna say it wasn't. So I hit my jack. It comes something jack 10. So I hit my jack on the turn. I believe it comes like a 9, but then on the river, you can guess what's gonna happen because it's always on the river magically. Yes, on the river, they hit their 10. They hit their set of tens. I'm out. So it's still the same bullshit, the same nonsense that's occurring. But again, I think people are just getting tired. And I've been talking about it for months about, again, the player numbers, the table numbers, the tournaments. Um, I'm seeing that it's lower and lower. Now, it says 2706, but the tournament that I was just in, majority of the players weren't even playing or sitting on the table. So these numbers are padded, and it definitely padded. And I was having a conversation on my YouTube channel, and other players were telling me about other sites where they're not making guarantees, and now they're starting to go up on smaller tournaments and things like that. So I'm just glad people are starting to move away. And I was just maybe like 2 weeks ago, I was in the casino. Maybe it was longer than that. Maybe it was. Okay, now I know this number is way off, but it was either 3 months, not 3 months, but 3 weeks to 2.5 months ago. I have a great memory. It was just I don't know, it was just this time period. It was just weird for me, but whatever. I was sitting at a table and we were playing Ultimate Texas Hold'em, and I was talking to a guy, and because he was watching me, he was I guess he was sort of praising me the way that I was playing because he was seeing that I was playing, $100 chips and $25 chips. But then he would see me playing that big, but all of a sudden he would see me playing with $5 chips. So I go from playing um, uh, 400, 600. That's just pre-flop. That's just pre-flop. A hand. So by the flop, or by the river, if I'm still in the hand, I'm playing anywhere from 800 to 1,000 to 1,200 a hand. So he sees me playing that way, but then he sees me drop all the way down to $5 chips where I'm only playing like $15 a bet, 25, $30 a bet about time the river comes if I'm still in the hand. And he was like, wow, most people, if they're starting to lose, they try to, raise their bet and they just start losing more and make it worse. And he was just talking to me about how I play. And he was like, man, I wish I can play the way that you play. Um, and I was just explaining to him, yeah, I mean, I studied the game. Just like my last video I told you guys about. Um, and I think I talked about it in a previous video, which I will post. I haven't posted yet, but I will post it. But yeah, so he's talked to me about that, and he was just surprised and stuff like that. So and so that conversation ends, and then we jump into another conversation because he asked me, do I play regular poker? I told him, yeah. I was like, you normally play 5-5. Well, it's a PLO game, and he asked me about No Limit. I was like, yeah, that's actually my main game. I just haven't been playing it as much. And I told him that I usually play 25-50, but that game hasn't been going on that much. And he asked me where, and I told him. He's like, oh yeah, I sometimes play there. And he told me about a player that he knows, which is another high roller player. And we start talking about our mutual friend. I was like, oh yeah, he plays real big. He plays on live streams, and we talked about that. And we just went on, and then he's like, and somehow I talked about how I got started in online. He's like, oh man, yeah, that's where I started too. But this guy is an older guy, so he's gonna know a little bit more, seen a little bit more. I wasn't around for Black Friday because again, I'm pretty young, so we talked about that, and he talked about how he stopped playing online for the same reasons that I stopped playing online, and many other people played. So I gave you all that background just to tell you that portion that he stopped playing because of all the bullshit. So it's not just me, and I'm glad it's not just me. Now he said that he stopped playing a while ago as well. I stopped playing. Well, I still continue to play, but I don't load any of my money on these sites, and I haven't been doing that in a very long time. And he also told me about some of his buddies that actually recently just stopped playing on America's Card Room and they were playing in a lot of the bigger games because it's just all these Ukrainian and Russian players would just magically come in and just start again the same things that I'm talking about. And the next time I have an interesting conversation with someone at a table, I'm gonna ask if I can just try to record, because I want you guys, like, when you're playing poker or you're playing table games, you come across some very interesting people, and you guys talk about things, and a lot of these things are things that I'm talking about and dealing with now, and that I'm trying to stress to people that may be listening or watching this now. So it's not just one person, 5 people, 10 people, 1,000 people, 100. It's millions of people. It's plenty of people. It's just a lot of people just don't care to listen, don't want to listen, or they just know it all. But whatever, I'm done rambling. I just want to share that with you guys, about all these canceled tournaments. Oh, look, see, there's another one. There's another one that just occurred. Remember, it was only showing 2, and now it's showing 3 again. So yeah, I'm happy. I am happy that a lot of people are waking up and saying that these sites are full of shit and stop playing. So again, continue to play. I'm not telling you don't play, but what I am trying to stress to you is be very careful and cautious, If something is happening that you feel is suspicious, most likely it is, and maybe you should get online and talk about it or post about it. Do something. And most importantly, stop loading your money on these sites. Play the free rolls. Play the free rolls. Um, or, and definitely don't, if you do decide to load, you do decide to do whatever, do it, but use your credit card if you have one. Because using crypto, this is what's saving these companies. Because if you use crypto, there's no way for you to get your money back. And if you go through some of my previous videos, my most recent videos, you would even see people, another person talking about how they loaded money. There's a whole bunch of bull crap going on. They won their bet and they wasn't getting paid out and stuff like that. So they just went ahead and called their bank and got that canceled. You'll see people talk about that under some of my videos. So again, don't go in there trying to load, crypto, and because again, once you send it, it's gone. It's gone. So you get screwed, or you feel like you're getting screwed. There's no recourse. You can't get your money back. So I'll holler at you guys later, man. I'm out.